The Nigeria Electoral Reform Coalition claims that its survey indicates a strong desire among Nigerians for electoral reforms. At a press conference held in Abuja, representatives emphasized that for Nigeria to become a truly democratic state, elections must reflect the will of the people.
NERCO, on the onset 2024, we had to do a little survey of what Nigerians actually want, the most pressing legislative actions Nigerians require from their parliamentarians as it matters today. So that particular survey actually convinced us that Nigerians across board, across the villages, across all the regions of Nigeria, actually want electoral reform so that we can begin to have a credible, accountable, and transparent means of selecting our leaders. Because that way, with that, we can begin to have the right dividends of democracy that Nigerians so solely crave for.
During the press conference, Ukpola Chinedu, the national convener of the Nigerian Electoral Reform Coalition, stated that Nigerians will remain united against a fraudulent electoral system.
We wish to state clearly that Nigerians will not accept anything short of truly credible electoral system. This is the only way to produce competent leaders with the capacity to deliver the infrastructural and social development required for our country's progress. NECO has engaged the National Assembly through the submission of amendment proposals across several state constituencies and senatorial districts through different senators and members of the House of Representatives. These engagements reflect the seriousness of the Nigerian people and the urgency of this reform.
Chinedu warned against any form of electoral inducement, asserting that any form of manipulation that does not meet the demands of the Nigerian people will be met with resistance.
However, we must strongly advise that the committee must resist any form of pressure, inducement, or manipulation by political interests seeking to distort the genuine objectives of this amendment process. Nigerians are watching closely to see the outcome of the committee's work. If the final document falls short of the expectations of the Nigerian people at this time when our nation urgently needs credible leadership, the committee and the National Assembly will be held accountable for the consequences that follow through a flawed electoral process.
NECO reiterated the necessity for mandatory electronic transmission of election results in real time to the Independent Electoral Commission's results viewing portal, IReV. Chinedu pointed out that there is a concerted effort to weaken or disallow those proposed adjustments, adding that Nigerians are prepared to fight for this cause.
NECO also, on the issue of electronic transmission of results, NECO emphasizes the provision of that provision mandating the electronic transmission of election results from polling units to the INEC result viewing portal must not be compromised. Now, credible intelligence available to us, and this is one of the reasons we want to call Nigerians out at this time, credible intelligence available to us indicate that some corrupt political actors who have benefited from electoral manipulation over the years are making concerted efforts to ensure that this provision, we're talking about the mandatory transmission, electronic transmission of results, that this provision is either removed or weakened by making it non-mandatory, as was previously done in the 2022 Electoral Act. This plan must not be allowed to succeed. Nigerians will fight against it with everything within their constitutional rights. The only way to secure the people's mandate is through transparency in vote collation and transmission. Any election result not transmitted electronically to the IReV at the time of declaration should be considered null and void. And INEC must bear the burden of proof for any declared result. This is the foundation of accountability and modern elections.
Additionally, the coalition agreed that there must be a reconciliation of the voter register with National Identification Number, NIN, highlighting that multiple identification systems are error that needs to be rectified.
During the public hearing, we noted that a new section 47(1)(a) is proposed to allow for electronically generated voter identification, including a downloadable voter card with a unique QR code. While this is an innovative idea, It must be secured through verifiable linkage to the National Identity Number (NIN) database, which remains the official and most credible source of citizens' data in Nigeria. Without this linkage, the downloadable card risk becoming another avenue for fraud and multiple voting.
Of about 60 million not voting. Now, the question will be, where are the 60 million? Why didn't they come out? So I believe that our voter register is completely padded. We don't know these individuals. In Nigeria, why are we having multiple identification systems? Why can't we stick with our NIN? So let's reconcile the voter register with NIN.
Because we are beginning to see a system, a very ugly system, where our profs are beginning to do ugly things in the electoral system. We want to give Professor Mipitan the benefit of that his own prof, this prof in this era, will do a different thing, using Anambra as a case study. He can push his best foot forward by doing the right thing in Anambra. If he starts doing the right thing in Anambra, Nigerians will begin to have confidence. Confidence will be restored in INEC.
The press conference concluded with key demands, including mandatory electronic transmission of election results, reconciliation of voter register with NIN, the criminalization of votes buying and vote selling, INEC bearing the burden of proof, and a timely presidential assent on the proposed electoral reform bill.